Today in our 2007 Toyota Tacoma, we will be installing the Sumo Springs Solo Custom Helper Springs for the rear axle, part number SSR-610-40. These Sumo Springs will help support our weight of the load in the bed of our truck, or when we have a trailer hooked up to us with a heavy tongue weight. They support up to 1,000 pounds of weight with the pair. They will not affect our ride quality when we have no extra weight in our bed of our truck. So your truck will ride just like a stock truck when you're driving down the road with these installed. And these will help get rid of that annoying squat when we do have a heavy load in the bed of our truck. They feature a quick and easy installation, something that anybody can do in the driveway in just a matter of a few minutes. All right, now before we install our suspension enhancement, we want to get a couple measurements of our stock suspension height in the rear and the front of our truck with no weight in the bed or no trailer attached, just to get an idea where the truck sits on a normal basis. Now through the center line of our wheel, going straight up to the fender on the rear of the truck, we're looking right about 36 inches. So we're going to record that and use that as comparison. So once we have some weight in there, without the suspension enhancement installed and with the suspension enhancement installed. On the front, we're looking about 34 3/4. So we'll keep that written down too, and I use that as comparison yet again. Once we have some weight in the bed of the truck, our front suspension should be sitting a little bit higher and our rear will be sitting down a little bit lower. So our truck would have a rake angled pointing towards the front. All right, now we have about 700 pounds of weight in the bed of our truck. Take a couple more measurements and see where we're sitting at. Okay, we're about 34 inches now. So that means we dropped about 2 inches just off 700 pounds of weight. Now let's go see what the front looks like. We're about 34 3/4, so the front didn't change really hardly at all. Okay, here's what our truck looks like now with our new Sumo Springs installed and our added weight in the bed. Get a few measurements here. As you can see, we're at 35.5 inches, which means we only have about a 1/2 inch difference from stock with no weight in it at all. That's what's nice about these Sumo Springs. They'll help to support up to 1,000 pounds of weight in the bed of our truck without having our suspension sag any. Now we get a measurement on the front, and we see we're at 34 3/4 of an inch. So our measurement in the front did not change at all. Our vehicle is almost sitting exactly like it was from the factory with no weight in it. All right, here's what our Sumo Spring looks like. As you can see, it's real quick and easy. No hardware is included. It all utilizes factory hardware to install. It also comes with some blue Loctite, and I will not be using this today. I'll be using red Loctite instead because I want to use the same grade of Loctite that's already on the vehicle. I already saw some red Loctite on there, so that's why I'll be using that instead. Now this is a quick and easy installation. It just replaces the factory bump stops that are already in the truck. So we will go ahead and show you how to install these. All right, we're going to start our installation on the driver's side of the vehicle. The passenger side's the exact same way, so you don't need to worry about anything being different there. We'll remove our nuts that hold our U-bolt in place towards the rear of the axle using a 19mm socket. Take the U-bolt out. Push up on the front U-bolt a little bit, and we'll slide the factory bump stop up and out of the way. Now when we install these, you need to have the rear of the truck up in the air a little bit to get some of the weight off the suspension so you have room to slide this in position. So we did that with just a pole jack. You could use a floor jack, bottle jack. Just go underneath the factory hitch here, and that will help you be able to raise it up in position. Take our new Sumo Spring, slide it in position over our axle. Make sure it's centered above the axle. Push it in place. Take our U-bolt in the front. Lift up. Make sure it's in the groove. May need to loosen the front bolts a little bit. Okay, the U-bolt in place. We'll drop down our factory U-bolt in this groove. Now we'll put some Loctite on our threads. Just a little bit will do. And we'll reinstall our nuts and our washers. We'll tighten everything on down now. Now we will repeat the same process on the passenger side. And that completes our installation of the Sumo Springs Solo Custom Helper Springs for the rear axle, part number SSR-610-40 on our 2007 Toyota Tacoma.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.